Hello to anyone who may be watching this, and Mr. Donahoe. By the way, you were my favorite teacher, so I think that automatically means I deserve both an A on this assignment and in your class, just to let you know. But anyways, here is what my graduation speech would be if I was valedictorian, which I cannot fully say that word. However, I'm not, as you can tell by not being able to say that word. And let's get into this. Okay. Like most of you here, I've spent the last 4 years trying to fully understand the reasoning behind the immensely painful high school experience. Like most of you here, I have been bombarded by assignments and placed on what felt like a social hierarchy in front of all my peers. Like most of you here, I've had the most miserable years of my life so far. But what's the meaning of high school not to tear you down? That's life. Next year, we're gonna go into a place that's completely unknown to us, and everyone feels exactly the same. Around us, we have hundreds of other students who have felt the same ways as since they walked into these halls freshman year. And that's what high school teaches us, because next year we're gonna be completely alone. We're gonna have no friends from when we were 1 year old. We're not going to have our parents. We're not going to have anyone. And we have to do all the things we just did for the past 4 years in high school, but we have to do it by ourselves. High school is a social hierarchy. It's all about how we can be better. And as someone who was left in the shadows of her older sister her entire life, who was always popular and never seemed to struggle with friends or popularity or anything like that, I always felt the need to excel in something, and I just never felt like I did that. I always thought that if she's going to be the popular sister, I'm going to be the smart sister. However, I did not seem to excel at academics, which is perfectly fine, but for so long, I thought that I was going into this world with no specialties. I thought I was just like everyone else. But high school taught me that I'm different in so many ways. And it's insane, honestly. But it was terrifying knowing that my sister could do all of these things and all of this stuff. She might not have been the smartest, but she was so smart socially. And I always wanted that for myself. And I just never had that, which is okay. And even though high school was ultimately horrible for me, as I had to grow up in those scenarios and see all these people in my grade living my dream, basically, I wouldn't trade those years for anything. Because I learned that I don't have to be popular and smart to care about myself. And I'm going to be honest, 13-year-old me would probably not be super happy to hear that I am an anxious teenager with a failing math grade and a One Direction obsession. But I always thought I would be the prettiest cheerleader or volleyball player who had the hottest boyfriend and went to all the parties and everything like that. And honestly, it didn't turn out that way. So, you may ask, why so negative? But that's because despite how cheesy it may sound, if it wasn't for all the downfalls, I wouldn't be where I am now. Next year, I'm going all the way across the country to live out my dream of being a helicopter pilot, which may not seem insane, but